also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sailed into the misty. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly, sail into the misty. When that foghorn blows, oh, I will be coming home. When that foghorn blows, I want to hear it. And I don't have to fear it now. I want to rock your gypsy soul, just like back in the days of old. And together we will flow as we sail into the misty. When that foghorn blows, I will be coming home. When that foghorn blows, I want to hear it. And I don't have to fear it now. I want to rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will flow as we sail into the misty. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's too late to stop now.
Good morning. How awesome is that? I want to, first of all, welcome back Aaron. And I'm going to introduce his lovely wife, Christina. You were married, now it's been 3 weeks now, huh? They were married, I married them 3 weeks ago. You want to hold on to it up here? Okay, I'm just going to put it there. And I am so, so happy to have you back with us and to have Aaron in the band. I mean, isn't that just... First of all, you have to know, that is one of my favorite songs of all time. Yeah, you didn't even know that, did you? Yeah, I'm just... Love that song. So thank you. Thank you for blessing us with your gifts and your talents today. I've got a couple of things to tell you about before we swing into service. First of all, I've had this postcard up here a lot, and I have failed to mention it every single week. The next session of CPR through the Global Truth Network actually starts tomorrow. There are postcards out there. This is a benefit to our center in this way. As you involve yourself in CPR, which is Core Prosperity Relief, which is bringing new life to your prosperous nature, the way that they work it is this course costs $20. Costs $20. You're on a conference call 15 minutes a day, every day for 30 days with Reverend James Mellon, my mentor, and he helps you move past any blocks that may be happening for you in your financial prosperous world. Now, the reason that it benefits our center is because the way they ask you to contribute back is for all the unexpected income that you get through this program, they ask you to tithe 10% to the center, not to them. We then tithe 10% of what you bring us to them. So it's a great way of understanding that there's a principle of circulation at work, and we're simply putting it to work for us. So if you're interested in the CPR program, take a postcard out there. If they all disappear today, you can go to globaltruthnetwork.com, and that will give you all of the information about how to sign up. Today we do have I was going to call it a workshop. It's not really a workshop. Well, it's sort of a workshop. For all of our volunteers, and you should all have received emails about this, following the service today, we're going to have meeting up here on this level, back in this little area where all of these lovely people are sitting. We're going to have the training for the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act. So we encourage all of you who are volunteers, even if you haven't signed up to be here today, if you are a volunteer and you can stay here today, we do ask that you stick around for that. But that's going to be happening up here, and it's going to be led by beautiful Judy here. Also, we are continuing the Spiritual Path, Science of Mind 101, the new foundations for the Science of Mind. This is new curriculum that we're working with. That's on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. And we're going to start, the next course is the Edinburgh Lectures of Thomas Troward. That's going to start on Tuesday the 25th of September. That's also at 7 o'clock. Saturday, September 15th. That's this coming Saturday, isn't it? Yes, we're going to be having the next meeting of our women's group. It's here. It's here at 10 a.m., led by beautiful Helen Vallot. Then a week from today, we're going to be having our next spiritual cinema day event after the service. We're going to be screening What the Bleep Do We Know? So I would encourage you to stick around after service and watch that movie with us, and we can have discussion about it. It's a pretty interesting movie. How many of you have seen it? Yeah, isn't it a fascinating movie? Yeah. What you may not know is that my father actually worked on that film. Yes. My father's a sound mixer, so he goes to sets and he records the sound, right? So, he's the one who makes sure that people have microphones and that you can actually hear what they're saying. Some of the interviews, he was actually the sound recordist on that film. The ones that take place, basically, the interviews that happened in Arizona. He was in Arizona at the time, and they hired him, so yes. Tuesday, September 18th, we have a Board of Trustees meeting at 7 p.m. here at the center. And if you are, anyone is welcome to come and I was going to say witness. Can I get a witness? To observe the, actually now this brings back a whole thing. Sorry, my brain is going somewhere. Remind me about witness and observe, and I will talk about it a little bit more. But you're welcome to come observe the Board of Trustees meetings at any time as a member of this center. They are open to you. 7 p.m. September 18th. If you do miss, see now, it's out of order in my brain. September 23rd, if you are not able to be here today for the volunteer training, we will have another one on September 23rd. We are still looking for volunteers. If you're interested in social media and being a social media ambassador, talk to me about that. Or if you are interested in a tech position with the center, you can help out with our webcast or sound or any number of technical positions. Or if you would like to be a youth mentor with our youth program, you can talk to me about that. We do have a spiritual mind treatment request box. I'm going to be talking a lot about treatment today. So I'm going to try and really get clear on what treatment is. That's what the whole day for me is about. But we do have a treatment request box. If there is something that you're trying to work through, some challenge that you're facing, write it out, put it in a spiritual mind treatment request box. A practitioner with this center will do the work in mind on your behalf, and it can get cleared up just like that. The truth is, by writing it out, by making the intention to have it be done, that's the first step. That's the first step, recognizing that there is a power and that it can be used for good. So, there you are. So those are the announcements today. I love that Deja writes, "Hola, Jonathan." Hola, Deja. I also want to let you know that the next couple of weeks, Deja is going to be out of the office. She is taking her vacation time, and it's partially because her parents are visiting her from Mexico. They just got here yesterday, so I don't know. They may be watching, they may not be watching, they may watch later. Who knows? But we honor Deja, and just know that if you call the office, you may actually get me on the phone. I will be here, Deja will not, for the next couple weeks. So, welcome. Welcome. Hi. I'm just taking you all in. I'm taking you all in because it's so beautiful to have you here on a Sunday morning, and I am so grateful for what you bring to this center. Do we have anyone here for the first time today? Welcome. Yes. Hello. Hello. But you've watched us online. Yes. She's watched us online. Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Anyone? I was looking over there. Anyone over here new? You all look like people I know. So we come here every Sunday morning. At least I'm here every Sunday morning for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to celebrate the truth. To celebrate the truth with a capital T, that there is one power for good in the universe. And we're all part of that power. And so we do this in any number of ways. We do it through song. We do it through treatment. We do it through my speaking. We do it through your very presence being in this room. Reminding yourself. It's not me who's reminding you. You've chosen to be here, so you are reminding yourself of this truth by your very presence here. So one of the ways that we like to do this is we read our Declaration of Principles. If you take a look at the inside of your songbook, the inside front page, under the heading, What We Believe. Now, as we read this together, and I say this every single time, as we read this together, make a determination. Has this become rote for you? Do you just read it just to read it? Because I say, hey, let's read this together. Really take a look at the words you're saying, because your word has power. And as you speak your word, it is a deeper understanding of the power that you have to create your life. So as you make a statement of I believe, your beliefs are your experience. So let's read this together. I believe that the spiritual and material universe are one. I believe that whether I call it God, spirit, energy, or universal consciousness, every person, place, and thing emanates from this one creative source. I believe that spirit is an infinite, loving intelligence operating in and through all life, never separate from anyone or anything. I believe in cause and effect. I believe that it is done unto me as I believe, and as I think, so I become. I live this now, and I rejoice in it. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. You know, we say, and so it is, to follow up every treatment. It's basically our way of saying amen, right? Without saying amen. Because some people find that too churchy. But when you say, and so it is, you have made a definite statement that everything that is preceded is the truth. And so it is. It is done unto me as I believe, as I think, so I become. As I think, so I become. That is the basis of this teaching. So to help us understand something a little bit more deeply, I'm going to invite Lena DeSanto up to the microphone, who's going to grace us with a wonderful reading today. I also want to let you know I have people who want to let me know what they're going to read. Let me show you. Let me send this to you. Tell me if you think it's good. And I'm starting to say no. I'm going to trust that what they find is exactly what needs to be said. So I haven't heard this. I'm hearing it for the first time too. Lena.
Good morning, everyone, and so good to see all of you. And the reading I've chosen today is from a book called Even Mystics Have Bills to Pay by Jim Rosamurgy. The work ethic used to work. It served past generations well. They made the ends meet. Work hard and you'll get ahead. Effort alone prospered many families, but not anymore. People who once prospered are now homeless. More and more children are living below the poverty level. Now, both husband and wife often work to ensure a basic standard of living. This is not the time to redouble our efforts and to do what we've always done a little better. The old methods will not work. We are being called to a new way of life. Humanity has only scratched the surface of prosperous living. Now is the time to dig deeper, not for precious metals, but for the treasure that is within us. Mystics found that the food which nourishes our soul will also provide for our bodies and other human needs. Earthly food only feeds the body, but the fruit of spirit animates body and soul. Because these seekers of the infinite were so completely committed to God, there's a tendency to think that they had forsaken the world. The truth, with a capital T, is they did not really turn from the world because even mystics have bills to pay. They turn toward God. There are many reasons to admire and emulate mystics. Perhaps the most compelling reason is they found balance. They learned how to put earthly matters in perspective. By putting God first, they assigned the world its proper place. Mystics are in the world, but not of it. Their security and sense of identity are not rooted in earth, although they eat the grains and fruit of harvest. Every mystic retreats from the world in order to gain perspective and to receive insights, revelations, and a new vision. We have the same inner yearning to let the Spirit of God do its sacred work in and through and as us. We have families to support and things to accomplish that we value and feel are important. However, I believe we too can find the balance that many of the mystics found. Together we are joined in the sacred quest of the infinite and in the fact that we have bills to pay. This is the common ground we tread. Spirit and earth are intertwined with one another. Let us not consider the quest sacred and the paying of bills mundane and of little consequence. We feel the weight of worldly matters, but we also hear the call to come up higher. Let us respond by not living apart and isolating ourselves from human family and the world, but by seeing earthly matters from a higher point of view. In this way, we will assign it its proper place. Let us quietly pursue our relationship with the presence, with the diligence, with the courage. Let us put to the test the spiritual principles that promise true security and well-being. And then, if individuals ask us about our way of life, it will not be because of what we have said. It will be because of what they have observed us doing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That was perfect. That was perfect. So what is a mystic? When we talk about a mystic, what comes to mind for you? And here's the next big question. Do you believe that you are a mystic? Who here believes that they are a mystic? That was good. You got me. For those of you who are online and maybe didn't hear that, he said, did you mean a mistake? Did you say a mistake? No, I said mystic. I did say mystic, right? That's good. That's good. So those of you who don't think you're mystics, think again. You know what a mystic is? A mystic is somebody who steps into intuition, who steps into a deeper understanding that you are one with and as this divine energy. That's what being a mystic is. And you allow wisdom to come through you. That's what being a mystic is. So if you don't believe that you're a mystic, that's okay. All I'm saying is start working in that direction. Start working in that direction. Understand that you do have that power at your disposal, right here and right now. That's the truth of who you are. And it leads me right into this perfect chant we're going to do today. It's not in your books, but you'll get it. So the chant today is a deeper understanding. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you sit there and listen and breathe, recognize the truth of who you are, which is that you are divine. All you have to do is give over to that idea. All you have to do is give over to love. All you have to do is relax into the knowing that God is present right here and right now by means of you. That's the truth. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love.
Recognizing that there is only one power, one presence. It is light, it is love, and it is here for the goodness of all of mankind. This energy of spirit within each one of us. In this moment, I surrender, I accept, I embrace that yes, I am divine spirit. I am love. I am grace. And that in this moment, in my life, everything is in divine order. I see and hear and speak words of love, knowing that it is love, the energy of love that brings healing, that brings light, that brings transcendence to the knowing that God is everywhere present, in and through all things. And so in this moment, I accept, I embrace, I surrender to the power of the divine, of our Creator, Spirit, God. And I know that this center is a divine expression of the Creator. I know that each and every person here this morning is also God expressing. And so I see the oneness. I embrace the oneness. I accept the oneness of us all, knowing that together, in this power and presence of love, beautiful things happen in the world. grateful for this center, grateful for each and every person here, and grateful for the knowingness that the Creator is for goodness, is for love, is for peace, is for joy and abundance for every person on this earth plane. I say thank you. And I now release these words into the law of mind, knowing that in the mind of God, it is already demonstrated, it is already done. I let it go, I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love.
And so, I will now formally introduce Helen Vallot, our practitioner of the day, who has some wise words for us.
Good morning. Good morning. I would like you all to reflect on the love and the goodness that is in your life right now as I read this quote. All that I have seen teaches me to trust the Creator for all that I have not seen. This is a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who is one of the teachers that inspired Ernest Holmes along with Thomas Troward. He was very influential in the teachings of science of mind, and I think it's really interesting that so often we don't trust that what we've said in prayer has already demonstrated. And all you need to do is look at the goodness, look at the love that's already present in your life, and know that there's an infinite amount yet to be experienced. Thank you.
Thank you. So you know me, mixing it up, right? I came to Helen this morning. I said, Helen, I'm not going to do the treatment within the chant. I'm going to have you do the treatment within the chant. Are you okay with that? She says, of course. I said, great. She said, but I have this quote. I said, well, then talk about it. Because I did instruct all of the practitioners to start coming up with quotes and being ready to talk about quotes, right? Thank you for that. It's exactly what was needed. So, I drink a lot of water. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. I have to. So our song today, there's something about contemporary music, and the music of the last 10 years, I think, is moving more in the vein of a deeper truth. I'm not going to say science of mind or religious science, but a deeper truth, a deeper connection. And this song is very much in line with what we teach. And it's so exciting because I think it's helping a new generation really come to the understanding that they are the creators of their experience. And that to me is very important. I love this song. I love the artist who has originally done this song. And I'm going to turn it over to the band now. And you'll know what song it is once you hear it, I assume. I'm not going to tell you what song it is. So let's hear it for the band.
Take all of your wasted honor, every little past frustration. Take all of your so-called problems, better put them in quotations. Say what you need to say what you need to say what you need to say. 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 Walking like a one-man army, fighting with the shadows in your head, living out the same old moment, knowing you'd be better off than you said. If you could only say what you need to say, 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 say what you need to say. 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 Have no fear for giving in. Have no fear for giving over. You better know that in the end it's better to say too much than never to say what you need to say again. Even if your hands are shaking and your faith is broken, even as the eyes are closing, do it with a heart wide open. Yeah, yeah. Say what you need to say. 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 Say what you need to. Say what you need to. Say what you need to say. 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 Say what you need to say.
I am so grateful to our band. I'm so grateful to have been able to come into a center that has such a vibrant music program, because that was something that was very important to me when I was contemplating my ministry. And I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever once told you what song to do on a Sunday. Maybe once. But it's usually me going to them and saying, well, they're usually coming to me saying, so what are you talking about? And I'm usually saying, I haven't a clue, because I don't usually really know until late into Sunday morning. Now, I usually have an idea by Thursday, because I have to put a talk title into the Friday email, right? And I explained to Tanis and Pierre what I thought the talk was going to be about. Maybe it's shifted away from that a little bit. However, here's the truth. No matter what, they always come up with a perfect song. Always. Today is no different, so thank you for that. John Mayer, what a talent. What a talent. It's funny, I've been listening to him all morning. When I walked here this morning from my apartment, I was listening to that album, Continuum. So, there is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. Have you ever heard that before? You've heard that before. Yes? Well, who said that? You have no idea who said that. All right, I'm going to give you a little hint. Are you ready? We haven't tested this. I don't know what the levels are going to be like, but could you play that one thing?
There is a power for good in the universe, greater than you are, and you can use it.
So we all laugh. That man had a brilliant ministry. That man had a brilliant ministry. He had a ministry that was on the radio, a lot of it during the 1950s. So now you're going to be surprised. Do you know who that was? That was Ernest Holmes. That was Ernest Holmes. Yes, the man who brought us the science of mind. The man on whom this entire philosophy, his wisdom, the wisdom that came through him and that he put down on paper and that he professed to the world, that is what we teach. That was his voice. There are some radio programs that you can actually access online. If you're interested, they're at spirituallivingarchives.com. Just to put that out there. I think there are like 5 or 6 of them. Every single radio program he ever did, he started off with that quote. There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. You can use it. Now, what he failed to mention is, no matter what, you are using it. You're already using it. What his purpose in life was to help you use it constructively and purposefully. So I'm going to say a phrase, and I want you to just think about how this is creating in my life. I have a problem. I have a problem. And so it is. Doesn't matter what comes after that. You've already stated a fact into the law, right? I have a problem. Okay. So what you're telling the universe is, this is how my life is now going to be lived. How frequently have you found yourself saying words like that? What is the actual belief? The actual belief behind saying phrases like that might be something like, I have a problem. The actual belief, I can't do anything to change this. I'm stuck. That's life. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? I have a problem. That's life. All right, so you're just going to continue to live within that. One of my favorites, though, is, I have a problem. And so I'm going to tell you my story because it really makes me feel really good to tell my story. I love telling my story, right? Because I get a lot of attention. I get a lot of sympathy when I tell my story. But when you tell your story, you're perpetuating the story. So if there is something that is a problem in your life, stop perpetuating it. Stop perpetuating it by talking about it. I really want to talk about the song. Now, I've done this before. You didn't know that I was going to do this. I've done this before where I really take the song and I kind of break it down and I really talk about the lyrics of the song. Today, I really want to do that. So so these are the lyrics. Take out all your wasted honor, every little past frustration. Take all your so-called problems, and I love this. Take all your so-called problems and put them in quotations. Say what you need to say. When you really recognize that the power of the word is creating in your life, and you can take those problems and put them into quotations and really stop giving them the power for creating in your life, the problems will stop. Take all your so-called, and I love that he says so-called problems. Do you know why they are so-called problems? Because we've decided that they're problems. How do we know that there may not be something greater at hand through the experience of whatever it is we're experiencing? We're the ones who have made a decision about what is a problem in our life. And when we step into that decision, remember I talked a lot about the power of decision. In fact, I taught a whole book called The Power of Decision when I first got here. And it was very important for me to teach the power of decision because that is the first book that I read in the Science of Mind philosophy, and it totally changed my life. Because I stepped into that deeper understanding and realization that the decisions I had made were either going to support me or not. They were going to either be constructive in my life or destructive in my life. So as you step into the problem, what is that doing? It's destructive. It is destructive. So what's the choice you're now going to make? Now, here's the thing. It's so funny, I just started Mental Muscle again this week, and those of you who are brand new to Mental Muscle, you'll understand why that always brings up a smile on my face when I say, here's the thing. Because it's one of my catchphrases. That'll all become clear to you about week 14. And then I went off on that little tangent. I have no idea what I was saying. I was talking about problems, right? I was talking about problems and about how we perpetuate the problem by talking about the problem. I know what it was. Is that if we look at every problem as an opportunity, then we stop seeing the problem, we start seeing the solution. So that's the point I was trying to get to. Now, part of the storytelling that can happen sometimes, though, is that when we tell the story, we start feeling like we're alone. Now, if you tell the story so you can get a lot of support that will uphold the idea that you are alone, then you are now, what he says in the song, walking like a one-man army. Fighting with the shadows in your head. Fighting with the shadows in your head. Do you know how you get rid of shadows? You shine light on them. Exactly. Oh, somebody was here for that talk. Who just said that? See? Remember? Thank you. So one of the things that I gave a talk once on, and I was like, and I put this on Facebook, I said, if you are facing the shadow, turn around. That's where the light is. Turn around. You have the capacity for turning it around in your own mind. At all times, no matter what. Walking like a one-man army, fighting with the shadows in your head. Living up the same old moment, knowing you'd be better off instead. If you could only say what you need to say. Now, when he talks about say what you need to say, on some level he might be talking about getting something off your chest or saying the thing that you've been holding back. Now, the thing to remember is that if you are going to say that, especially if you're in conflict with another person, is it constructive or destructive? Is it constructive or destructive? Because if it's going to be a destructive thing, you might not want to say it. If it is going to be a constructive thing, then absolutely give in, give over, let it flow, have the conversation that needs to be had. the other thing that it brings up for me is when you say what you need to say, and what's really coming through you from a divine place, that's living in faith and trusting in faith. That's why I talked today about being a mystic. That each and every one of us, to the degree that we can allow ourselves to walk and trust in faith, and that allow that which is coming through us in faith, that which is coming through us, the truth with a capital T, when we can allow that to happen naturally. And you know what? I'm not even going to say easily and effortlessly, because I say that a lot. Sometimes it's not so easy and it's not so effortless. And I'm going to absolutely not uphold that idea that that's the way it has to be. But you know what? Sometimes the constructive comes through something that doesn't feel so easy. But you know why it doesn't feel so easy? Because we're the ones who are struggling against it. So it can be easy and effortless. But if you step into faith and allow the wisdom to come through you, you will always, always say what you need to say in a constructive way. Have no fear for giving in. Have no fear for giving over. You better know that in the end, it's better to say too much than never to say what you need to say again. And that is the difference between fear and faith. Sometimes we fear what it is we need to say because we fear the consequences. What we perceive to be the consequences. Now, here is the irony. When you live through all of that and you're struggling in your mind about what may or may not need to be said, and you're, oh gosh, it may turn out this way, or it may turn out this way, but it's probably going to turn out this way, and that's not going to feel so good. And you know what? You've just lived it. You've just lived it. Why don't you step beyond that fear of what it might be and actually step into what it should be, which is say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. And like he does in the song 36 times, say what you need to say. I did count. Even if your hands are shaken and your faith is broken, even as the eyes are closed, and do it with a heart wide open. And that can be seemingly challenging. But do it with a heart wide open, a wide heart. Say what you need to say. That's all I'm ever trying to do up here. I'm getting more and more inspired, I think on a daily basis, to step away from the books. I mean, I do read the books. I read The Science of Mind. I read The Power of Decision. I read Troward. I read the books, right? But that's wisdom from one vein. That's wisdom from one vein. I just wanted to see if it would happen again. And the truth is, I feel like I'm going deeper and deeper all the time in my own life. And this is what I'm going to encourage each and every one of you to do. Yes, class is very important to me. Learning is very important to me. I will never deny that these things uphold an idea, but they're upholding the idea that you actually don't need any of that. That you have an intuitive knower within you that is coming through you at all times. If you allow yourself to do it with a heart wide open and from a place of faith, not from fear. Because if you're simply reacting to fear rather than stepping into faith, then you start having the so-called problems. So, what do you need to say? What is it that is coming up within you? What do you need to say? I'll take it a little bit deeper. What is your purpose for being here on this earth? Have you ever considered perhaps the reason that you are here is because you have something to say? Say what you need to say. So in life, we have these, in quotations, problems that pop up, right? And. I will tell you that happens for me still, sometimes. It happens for any number of us. Today, what I'm going to ask you is, what is the first thing? Where is the first place? What is the first thing you do when these problems come up? And it's a rhetorical question. Do you say what you need to say by going to your friends and talking about your misfortune? Hi, Helen. I'm having all of these problems. But Helen, you're my practitioner. I need to tell you all of my problems.
I don't want to hear your problems.
Now, there's something very interesting. As a practitioner, I don't want to hear all your problems. Here's the truth. As practitioners, sometimes we may indulge our clients a little bit too much by allowing them to talk about their story, to tell their story. I mean, yes, but it does make you feel good when you tell us your story, right? The truth is, and this is the Emma Curtis Hopkins paradigm, we don't need to know your story to know the truth for you. That's the truth. Because there is only one truth. There is one truth. And that is God is revealing itself by means of you. How are you going to let it happen? I don't care about your story. That's, that may seem really cold and unfeeling. But the truth is, I don't care about your story when you're here speaking to me about what's going on with you. Is that a problem for you? Seriously, is it a problem? It's an opportunity. When you tell me your story, all I'm doing is listening with God's ears. Listening and looking for the spiritual truth behind whatever it is you're experiencing. And the truth is, more of God can be revealed through you in that moment. But you don't need me. You don't need a practitioner to do this. And that's what I really want to get to today. What is the first thing you do when something goes awry in your life? Any thoughts? You say, oh God, pray. Any other thoughts? See, she already said the answer, pray. Treatment. And that is what you should do. However, a lot of us go tell our friends about this misfortune, right? Oh, gosh, this happened to me, and it's not so nice. Well, what does that do? Brings more of it into your experience, but it feels good. It's like Family Feud. Because in Family Feud, you all remember that game show? It still airs. They still have new episodes of it, right? They go around and they ask the opinions. They do these surveys. They're asking for the opinions of others. And what's happening is if you're going to somebody saying, oh gosh, this is a problem in my life, you have a little Richard Dawson in your head saying, survey says. The top 10 reasons for maintaining this mindset. Survey says. I loved Family Feud. The truth is, as you start looking for all of those reasons to uphold and maintain that mindset, you are impressing upon the law of cause and effect more reasons for these things to maintain that mindset. And as you do that, you're going to get more of the same. Now, we also tell our friends, because we think we'll get a sympathetic ear. You know what sympathetic ears are? Sympathetic ears are putting both parties into the place of this is going to sound like I'm doing the twist. This is a term that we use in the science of mind, and I'm going to explain it to you. So we call it race consciousness. Now, we're not talking about race in terms of ethnicity. We're talking about race being a group of any, like we in this room are creating a race consciousness by means of our very experience and existence in this room. When you go and you talk to your friends about the problems that are going on in your life, you have now created a race consciousness. And usually what your friends are going to tell you, especially if they're not in this philosophy, see, if they are in this philosophy, they'll probably science of mind you right on the spot, which means they're going to say, oh, do you hear what you're saying? And so it is. But if you have friends who are not in this philosophy, and you tell your story, you've created a race consciousness because they're probably going to agree with your story. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so horrible. Wow, that really is a problem. You've now created two people telling the same story. You've now created race consciousness. The race consciousness of those two people. And as that story gets perpetuated and agreed to, you create more of a race consciousness around it. And the law knows nothing but to do. So as long as you continue to agree with the story of the problem, you're going to continue to create it. The song seems to be directing us to tell the world that we have a story to tell. And it's a story of truth. And it's a story of faith. And it is a story of a deeper realization and understanding that we are, each of us, perfect embodiments and expressions of a divine energy. And that's all we will accept. That's all we will accept. So when you say what you need to say, and the way it needs to be said is via spiritual mind treatment. Spiritual mind treatment. Now, I talk about spiritual mind treatment, and I always say, for those of you who are here for the first time, spiritual mind treatment is our form of affirmative prayer. That's how we describe prayer. We call it spiritual mind treatment. We call it affirmative prayer. Call it Joe. I don't care. What it is it is a definite statement into the law of cause and effect. That's what treatment is. That's what affirmative prayer is. Treatment is an active thing. This is Ernest Holmes. I'm going to quote Ernest Holmes. Treatment is an active thing. It is an active thing. It's not something you sit there and, oh God, please make this happen. I'm going to be over here just hanging out while you make this happen. No. Treatment is an active thing. When one gives a treatment, he is not sitting around hoping that something may happen. He is definitely, constructively, actively stating, sensing, knowing some specific good. That's what treatment is. Treatment is power. Do you feel the energy? Do you feel the difference in the feeling of the energy behind just simply stating what treatment is? As opposed to, yeah, I really hope this changes for me. No, definitely, constructively, actively sense and know that it is going to change. Ernest Holmes. A treatment is a statement in the law of cause and effect, embodying a concrete idea of our desires and accompanied by an unqualified faith that the law works for us as we work with it. Let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. How does that sound? Let's stop looking for it. Stop looking for the key to success, stop looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. You already have it. It is within you. All you have to do is allow it to be revealed. Already the door is open, and whosoever will may enter. The only reason that you have not walked through that door to happiness and success, if that is where you are, is because you have not decided to. You have not made the conscious choice to open the door and walk through. That's all it takes. It takes a decision. It takes a conscious, focused awareness in your mind. I'm getting a little, riled up here, aren't I? It takes a conscious, focused decision in your mind to step into the power that is inherent within you. But you can step back and go, oh God, please make this happen. You can live your life like that. Just know that that's what your life is going to end up being. It's going to be the, oh God, please make this happen. Now, what I will tell you is treatment is not magic. Treatment is not magic, and that's where I want to be very clear. We are not willing things to happen. We are not hoping for things to happen. We are making definite statements into a law that simply corresponds. It simply says, yes, it is done. And treatment doesn't happen to us. It happens through us. It happens through us. When we go into spiritual mind treatment, when we make a definite impression into the law, we're opening ourselves up to allow the demonstration, we talk about demonstration, to happen. Treatment is not magic. It is not mental coercion. It is not willpower. It is not concentration. Treatment is not about taking a survey of all your friends and family's opinions. Treatment is knowing a deeper truth by means of what is working through you. And yet, when we take those surveys, those things do end up being treatments. Because here's the next step. When you start to recognize and realize that everything you say in your life is a spiritual mind treatment, you'll probably stop saying some of the things you say and say what you need to say. Because everything that comes through you is backed by a belief. And the belief is either constructive or destructive. What are you going to choose today? Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Become clear in your own mind and allow the spiritual truth to be the place from which you are always expressing. Let the spiritual truth be the belief behind your words and your actions and your statements. For everything you say, everything you experience, everything you do is a treatment. And it's going to perpetuate more of the same. The spiritual truth is there is an unchangeable reality behind every situation. Whether you call it a problem or a solution, the reality behind it is unchangeable. For there's one power, there's one energy, there's one infinite intelligence. It is operating by means of each and every one of us. And when you step into that and allow that to be the lead core belief behind every action, behind every word, then every word that comes out of your mouth is you saying what you need to say. That's the truth. And that's what I have to share with you today. Namaste. More water. So, we've come to this place in the service where we do our offering. And talking about stepping into an understanding. For me, when I do my offering, and I give a popsicle stick, which is just a representation that I am part of the Count Me In program. And the Count Me In program is a pre-authorized debit program, so my contributions to this center automatically get deducted from my checking account every Monday, which works for me. You're welcome to participate in offering to this center however you feel comfortable. The only thing that I request and trust is that as you give, you're giving from the heart, and that you're not giving out of an obligation, because the truth is, I want gifts from the heart. I want gifts from the heart because the energy of that is what will grow this center. We use these gifts to grow this center. We use them to start to put together these task forces, and I will be in touch with you about the task forces since I keep pushing that idea. I'll be in touch with you about them very soon. We've had a number of people sign up for task forces, and if you haven't, please check it out on our website, because I do want to make this a center for good by doing work in the community. It's great to come here and feel good on a Sunday, but let's get out there and do more. So as we give, we also receive, because it's two sides of the same coin. It's funny because I talked today about faith, and my popsicle stick today says faith. So as the baskets go around, let's celebrate our faith in the principle of giving and receiving, knowing it's all the same thing. We're going to sing I Love, which is on the cover, which is clipped to the front of your songbook. So take it away. Up to do a blessing over our offering.
In this moment, recognizing the power of giving, the power of receiving, the power of gratitude for these gifts, for the sense of spiritual living. I say thank you for this abundance. Thank you to each and every person for giving from the heart, knowing that the board of trustees receive this offering with respect and treats this offering with respect and uses it for the highest and best good of the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto and for every member and participant in this center and the community beyond. Thank you. I release this to the law of mind, knowing that the presence of goodness that is God blesses this, and all is well. I let it go, I let it be so, and together we say,
And so it is. And so it is. It is. It's a definite statement into the law. I want to thank, before you head downstairs, I want to thank Fred and Susan for your service today as our board members on duty. Thank you so much. This center, it takes a village, like I say every week. It takes a village, and I am so grateful to everybody who participated in a volunteer capacity today. Just as a reminder, the AOTA training following service right over here, if you are staying for that. Is there anything I'm forgetting about that? Oh, that's good. She says it's good. Brilliant. I want to thank our greeters today, Derek and Wim, who were there to say hello and have bright, shiny faces as you walked in. Gail and Lorna set up today for us. Yes, yes, yes. I want to thank Nick, who's helping out in the bookstore today. Thank you, Nick. Linda, brilliantly making sure we get sent out to the world via webcast. Thank you for running our webcast today. I want to thank Steve in the booth. Thank you so much for your service. Dynamic kids. Here they are, the dynamic kids. And I want to thank Helen Dino Brega and Mahala Valo for helping out with the kids today, making sure that they are well cared for. And I want to thank the band. And I want to thank Aaron for returning to us. But Pierre, Aaron, Tanis, Patrick, Brian, and Rudy. And I do especially want to thank, for her beautiful work today in mind, I want to thank Helen Valo for her treatments today. Thank you so much. So I'll move this back, and then I'm going to move up a level, which is all we're ever trying to do, right? So let's just take this moment to reflect on the truth. To reflect on that inherent truth within you. All right, I'm just going to do this. To reflect on that deeper idea, that deeper understanding that there is only one power, there is only one thing going on, and you are a part of it. There is a power for good in this universe greater than you are. And you can use it, you are using it at all times. So the way in which you use that, I invite you to choose wisely. Choose wisely. And all I'm ever here to do is to remind you of this truth. That's my job. That's what I've taken on as my calling, to remind you. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. And so right here in this moment, I remind myself of this truth. I embody in myself this deeper understanding, this truth, and allow it to be revealed by means of me. And in doing so, I recognize this truth in all other people. I see God in the faces of every single person I encounter. For that is who and what we are. We are that perfect divine energy, expressing, creating, unfolding. And in this, I know I can relax. I know I can step into that deeper place of understanding, of expression, knowing that everything I say is exactly what needs to be said. I step into a deeper revelation of truth. And I invite every single person here to step into that deeper revelation of truth, each and every one of you, each and every one of us, with a deep understanding that God is all there is, and this is the core of who and what we are. I give over to it with a grateful heart. I simply let it be so as I release this word to law, knowing it is done right here, right now. I know it's done, as together we say, and so it is. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. And so it is. So let's take it out into the streets with God Makes Me Want to Sing, which is number 28 in your songbooks.
I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. Makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. So I'm loving every living thing. Everything, every living thing. I can see the face of God in paupers and kings. In kings, paupers and kings. We're all precious, no less or more. We've all got the same treasures in store. So I'm loving every living thing. I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing. It makes me feel so good. I could do most anything, yeah. So I'm believing in my guiding light. In my light, in my guiding light. No matter what comes, it always turns out right. Everything turns out right. just dig right down to how I feel. Then I take a deeper breath and then I grab the wheel. So I'm believing in my God and life. Hey! I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good I could do most anything. Yeah. So I'm arising to a higher place. To a higher place. With the wind at my back and a smile upon my face. Smile upon my face. Living my dream a little more each day, and it keeps getting easier to find my way. So I'm arising to a higher place. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good I could do most anything, yeah. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good I could do most anything. Whoa, I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good I could